Kids are getting more screen time right now since school, friends, and, well, pretty much their entire lives, they're online. And we thought it might be a good idea to get a refresher on how to keep the kids safe while they're using the internet. And with us this morning, we have Jessica Schindeldecker with the Fargo PD with a few tips. Thanks for joining us today, Jess. But since the kids, they're online so much right now, we really all are. But does that mean that scammers and some people out there are more likely to be targeting children at this time?
Absolutely. So unfortunately that we do see whenever there is some sort of crisis or something that's more high profile, that's where the scammers start to kind of come in. And it's not necessarily scammers, it's people who are looking to take advantage of other people during this time. So it's really important to make sure that we're on top of our game and we're teaching our children what's safe and what's not safe and what to look for.
And so what are some of those things that parents should be explaining to their kids about what to look for to know if something is safe or isn't safe?
There's a lot of really great resources out there right now, and they're interactive, digital interactive resources. So the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children has a website, netsmarts.org, and they have a lot of really great resources that talk to kids about what's appropriate to see and to hear online or on their devices. So if they're on YouTube Kids or any other type of web-based learning system. So it's really important to make sure we're talking to them about these resources and showing them these so that way they can learn in a way that resonates with them. Common Sense Media also is a website that has a lot of great resources for parents, what to know about typical platforms that their kids are on, whether it's Instagram or TikTok. So it's really, there's a lot of great resources out there. So not only are we trying to figure out how to homeschool them, but we also should make sure that we know how to keep them safe on those devices.
Yeah, no, there is a lot going on right now for parents to try and figure out and navigate in this world. But what are some of those things that they can say to the kids? Because I think sometimes the children, they might be kind of scared to admit maybe if they have gone into something they shouldn't or have seen something that they know they shouldn't be seeing. So what are some tips maybe or advice that you have for parents to maybe kind of start those conversations and just get them open about what they're seeing online?
So make sure that you talk to your kids and they know that it's okay if it does happen or someone does approach them, but to stop that immediately and tell an adult to leave what they're doing, stop what they're doing, exit that program, and then let somebody know right away so that way you can look into it, you can report it as when it's necessary. People shouldn't be talking to them and asking them personal information. They shouldn't be asking where they live, their phone number, things like that. So people can reach out, especially if your privacy settings aren't very tight on a lot of the platforms that there are out there. They can reach out to our children and try to, they start that whole grooming process, which basically, it's not something that happens overnight, but they try to gain your children's, their trust so that way they open up to them. And unfortunately, there are a lot of platforms out there that allow that. Now, those specific apps that are created for educational purposes, those are less likely to be an issue. However, if your kid is passing some fun time on TikTok or Instagram, that's something that we need to be worried about as parents.
Most definitely. And when do you know if the police should ever get involved? When does it come to a point when a parent says, I don't know about this? Should they be contacting police? Should they be trying to take care of it? What guidance would you give at that point?
So there's a lot of different options that parents can do. They can call us directly and we'll talk to them about it. And we have a Crimes Against Children unit, and those detectives are trained specifically on how to look for things on our devices and to follow up on those types of incidents. Or you can go on the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children's website and submit a report there too as well.
All right, some good advice as kids spend more and more time online. Just never know what they're going to be getting into, and you got to keep them safe. Jessica Schindeldecker with Fargo Police, thanks so much for joining us. Coming up here on today's show, just because you're quarantined, it doesn't mean that you can't still shop for that chic summer look. We still want to look good. Stick around and we'll have some of the looks that you won't want to pass up.